dangerous religion in the world. And it's nothing but a religion. You have to believe in evolution. You have to have, you ready, Joseph? You know what you got to have for evolution? You have to have
imagination.
Just imagine everything came from a dot of nothing exploding, and we don't know where it came from. But it wasn't God, we know that. Heck, anything but God. Sorry, guys. You're wrong. Okay, let's see. Ron, let's see. 20,940 days now of destroying this dumb evolution religion. We're on Facebook, Rumble, X, our own app, Instagram, TikTok. Help us stay on the channels. We pay for all this, okay? We don't charge you anything. If you want to help, please do. We're straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles, in Lenox, Alabama, right off I-65. Stop in and say hi. Today's the 18th. There's boot camp coming up in less than 2 weeks. Come on down. I don't have any cabin space left, but come on down for boot camp. Help us open for free. There we are. Okay, it's drdino.com. 10 years now. I almost did Emma Thorne. Emma, you're next. Probably tonight. Okay? Kent Hovind's funniest mistake 12 days ago. Emma, it's been a long time since we whacked you on this, so we're going to have to do it again. But that, I'm going to spare you. So call Emma, tell her to watch tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. She's welcome to be on the show. I'll take her, let's see, anytime, put her on the show. Okay, I tell a story in my video number 4. It bears repeating here. Ties in with what I want to cover this morning. Does anybody know what this machine is? What is that machine? Any farmers? That's a calf puller. Oh, let's see. That's a what? A calf puller. Once in a while, the cow has a hard time having that baby calf. So the farmer gets the calf puller out, ties the cable around the calf's legs, and jacks the calf out of the cow. All the women are wincing. Like, it's bad enough with a baby. Imagine having a cow. Yeah. One day, a city fella, out driving in the country, saw a farmer pulling a calf with a calf puller. He stopped and watched for 10 minutes, completely speechless. When the guy finished, the farmer said, "Have you ever seen anything like this before?" The city fella said, "I've never seen nothing like this in my life." Farmer said, "Do you have any questions?" He said, "Yes, sir. I got one question. It's been bugging me for 10 minutes. The farmer said, "Well, what's your question?" He said, "How fast do you think that calf was going when it ran into that cow?" No, you're getting it all wrong here, folks, okay? Grand Canyon is a similar thing. Two people looking at the same thing, and one's getting a totally wrong idea what's going on. Here's a picture of Grand Canyon in Arizona. I've been there many times. Did it take millions of years to form Grand Canyon? Right now, the atheists are shouting, yes, 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 don't you question that. I know your religion tells you to say that. Could it be the Grand Canyon formed in a week? Oh, no, not possible. Just calm down, calm down. Almost 5 million people a year visit Grand Canyon. What are they being taught? Cars line up for miles. To be taught what? To be taught, it took millions of years to form Grand Canyon. Indians do their dances around there. You can I'll skip all this here. I want to cover something else about Grand Canyon. Right, come on. I should have put the slide number in here. There. Textbook says, over millions of years, the Colorado River carved the Grand Canyon from solid rock. Really? Obviously, all those rock layers used to be mud. They're called sedimentary rock. The sediment, the mud settles into layers, and then it hardens into rocks called lithification, lithified rock. Now, it's a fact, Grand Canyon exists. Been there many times. Evolutionists have their interpretation of that fact. The fact is the canyon's there. Their interpretation is it formed slowly over millions of years, lots of time. Creationist says it formed quickly by lots of water and a little bit of time. And the guys who believe in evolution are constantly trying to erase that line and make you think their interpretation is part of the fact. No, guys, look at me carefully. The fact is the canyon exists. It is not a fact that it took millions of years to form. That's your interpretation. Nearly 40 major sedimentary rock layers exposed in Grand Canyon. There's a textbook. The Colorado River cut through layer upon layer of rock over millions of years. It says here, fossils are usually found in sedimentary rock. Interesting. Could that be because they all died in a flood? That's why they're found in mud turned to stone? Could it be that all the trillions of fossils out there, like the fish fossils, We have a whole museum full of fossils here. Come on down and see it. Could it be they all formed rapidly in 1 year? Oh, no, can't. I know. It says lower sediment rock layers are older than upper rock. This is the whole problem. No, it's not. They keep trying to teach the kids that the layers we see are different ages, and the top layer is younger. They made up this whole idea in 1830, and it's called the law of superposition. This one's on top. It's superimposed, so it has to be younger. No, not if the layers are forming sideways, and 10 layers form at the same time with current going sideways, like every tide would do, and the moon pulling the water up and down, making the tide race in and out. Joseph, you did a great video on that. Is that posted someplace?
Yeah, it's on our Facebook channel.
Facebook and YouTube, showing the layers form sideways, not vertically, horizontally. Watch experiments in stratification. Okay, textbook says, Colorado River cut through layer upon layer of rock over millions of years. Now, hold it. Is this a fact or is this an interpretation? Could there be another way to look at it? Anybody want to guess what happened right there? Take a wild guess. A dam broke, right? Grand Canyon is a washed out dam. A really big one, like really, really, really big one. But it's the same principle. They say you look back to hundreds of millions of years. No, you don't. You look down in the hole in the ground. The bottom layer is the same age as the top layer. There is no geologic column. If you plugged up Grand Canyon, a large lake would form. Water from Wyoming goes through Grand Canyon. It's a huge drainage area out there. Here's Grand Canyon right there. It cuts right across what is known as the Kaibab Plateau. There's the canyon right there. There's the plateau. It's a big ridge like a wrinkle in your carpet all the way across the state. Well, I got to go this way. Yeah, okay. Grand Canyon is a washed out dam, a really big one. The snow line tells the story. The white part, the snow, elevation 6,900 to 8,500 feet. You folks that live where there's mountains know what snow line is. You folks in Alabama, what is it? What is snow to begin with? Okay. Snow line, at a certain elevation, the temperature changes and the snow get my tongue tangled up, and the snow sticks to the ground. Now, the river enters the canyon on the far upper right at 2,800 foot elevation. The river flows right across this ridge and drops 277 miles and comes out the other end at 1,800 feet. So the river goes from 2,800 to 1,800. The river flows downhill. Now listen, all rivers in Arizona flow downhill, right? Nothing to do with north-south, it's elevation downhill. So the ground is sloping up to the top of that Kaibab Plateau, about 7,000 or 8,000 feet. The river enters the canyon at 2,800 feet and flows downhill, exits at 1,800, after flowing 277 miles. So here's some facts to consider for you evolutionists. The top of the canyon is higher than the bottom. How many can figure that out so far? 3, okay. The river only runs through the bottom. How many can figure that out? Okay. The top is higher than where the river enters the canyon by 4,000 feet. For you, those who need a visual, here is the top, here is the bottom. Okay, the river runs through the bottom. Anybody lost so far? Okay. The top is higher than the bottom. The river flows downhill. Rivers don't flow uphill in Arizona. There's no delta. Where's the mud that washed out? We have in Pensacola a little tank where you can make a miniature Grand Canyon in seconds. Turn the pump on, it pumps water down. See, Walt Brown did a great book on that in the beginning. They're very hard to find now. I got one buried under book stack here. If you plugged up Grand Canyon, those lakes would form today. Well, it might take 50 or 100 years to fill in, but Grand Lake and Hopi Lake flow through Grand. The lakes are gone. They used to be there, though, probably for hundreds of years after the flood. When the river drained, when the lake drained, it left behind Monument Valley. This all happened in hours, not millions of years. Monument Valley. Grand Lake got too full, went over the top, started washing out from the other side, and ate its way backwards. Erosion runs backwards while the water's going forward. Niagara Falls having the same problem. They had to close down Niagara Falls years ago to concrete the edge because the edge keeps breaking off. It's moving back 4.7 feet a year. Rather than rebuild a new visitor center every 20 years, they decided to slow the erosion rate down. But it's only moved 7 miles. I covered that on video number 1, different scientific ways to prove the Earth is not billions of years old. Niagara Falls is one of them. It fits perfectly with the flood. Anybody want to guess what happened here? What would you guess happened? The lake got too full and the dam washed out. Okay? Dams wash out all the time. Farmer doesn't build a good spillway or something. Teton Dam failure, 1976 in Idaho. This happens all over the place. It's not a mystery. If you go, here's our place, Dinosaur Adventureland. You go about 9 miles away to Repton. Go past Repton a mile, turn left. There's a farmer right there, where that star is, on Highway 84. Anybody want to guess what happened to his little pond? Take a wild guess, Billy. The dam broke. It overflowed, yeah. Did it wash away the entire dam? No. It cut a notch in it. This is north of Bruton. I saw this years ago when I first moved to town here. So I got to get a picture of that. I mean, I didn't see it happen, but I can tell you what happened. Can you tell me what happened? The lake overflowed and it cut a notch in the dam. Grand Canyon is the same thing, only bigger. They had more water, like duh, okay? Dams wash out all the time. Tom Sauk Reservoir in St. Louis is huge. St. Louis, Missouri. That reservoir here's a guy standing next to it for scale. I mean, this thing is gigantic. Holds water for the whole city of St. Louis. That dam was built strong to last a long time. Most people start off building their marriage strong to last a long time. Sometimes you get a crack in there and something falls apart. Well, plug the crack. The Dutch boy, remember, stuck his finger in the dike, you know? There's a Tom Sauk Reservoir. This thing is ginormous. 2005, I don't know what happened. I should read up on that, I guess, but it got too full. And it went over the top. It had no spillway. So the water started going over the top at the slightly lower point, eroded the other side. That side collapsed. The Nick point, where it started, at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nick point. Kept getting worse. Pretty soon, one whole side collapsed. It lost, 1.5 billion gallons of water in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. The water running down the valley there carved a miniature Grand Canyon in 10 minutes. See, once the water starts moving, it picks up debris and it becomes liquid sandpaper. Now it'll cut through concrete. You know, they use water and sand to cut steel. Yeah, you get it moving fast enough, it'll do it. The water carried debris and became liquid sandpaper and carved a canyon in solid rock. Carved it out. There it is. Grand Canyon is a washed out dam. So if you want to believe it took millions of years, that's fine. But from the Mississippi River, when it starts up in Minnesota and flows down, it's called a low slope river. Very slowly tilts. Do you need me for something, Amber, in the program here? Cheryl? You see what she needs? Most rivers, when they come together and merge to make, a bigger river, they're less than 90 degrees apart. The two rivers are flowing generally the same direction and they merge together. That's typical all over the world, okay? River pattern. But if you look at Grand Canyon, it's got a strange pattern. On the south side, you have normal canyons coming into it from the side, and the small canyon comes in and enters at less than 90-degree angle and continues the same general direction as the big one. Happens all over. However, on the north side, they're called barbed canyons. The river's flowing backwards, hits the channel, turns around, comes the other way. Why would that be? Because a lake is draining. It's not formed by the river. There used to be a dam holding water up to the top, and as it drains, the water's flowing backwards off the dam, hits the main channel, turns around, and comes the other way. They're called barbed canyons. Can these rocks tell a story? Yeah. Rapid deposition during the flood, rapid erosion way at the end of the flood, maybe hundreds of years later. Grand Canyon has cut through layer upon layer of rock over millions of years. This is called baloney. It's one of the lies in the textbooks that we teach. Okay, let's see. Questions, Joseph? Drifting Ziba. Second law of thermodynamics disproves evolution. The first law says matter cannot be created or destroyed, only changed. The second law says everything tends toward disorder. Basically, everything's falling apart. If you leave your bedroom alone for 20 years, don't do nothing, it'll become chaos. You want to see chaos? Go look in your sock drawer right now. You'll see chaos. A system can't start imperfect and become perfect, according to the second law of thermodynamics. I agree. Second law, contradict each other. Everything devolves into entropy, always. I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Drifting. I've seen that question before, atomism. What are they saying there, Joseph?
It's a philosophical position about everything reduces down to atoms and it's void. And things that atoms make up aren't really real. It's a weird.
I don't know enough about it to give an answer. I think all physical things that we know of are made of atoms. And the atoms are made of, electrons, protons, neutrons, and morons. And
But do you think, I think the defining thing is in that philosophy, the thing made from the atoms doesn't actually exist.
well, I like as where do thoughts exist? Where do thoughts exist? Yeah. Where does truth exist? Is that in the atoms? So I guess I don't know exactly what you mean, old school, so I'll have to pass that question. Next one. If Earth's only 6,000 years old, why can't we understand how they picked up rocks that are 10 tons?
Yeah, he's more on comments about how we have evidence for Jesus, but no evidence on how they picked up these big rocks.
Well, we have statues and stuff made out of these giant 100-ton rocks. How did they move it? Today, the fact is, today nobody knows. There are theories about it. One theory is that they use sound waves, levitate. I don't know. Well, make up any theory you want. Nobody knows. Okay, I sure don't. Hope you're doing well. Liquid sandpaper. That's amazing. God be able to get back on watching your videos. Got to be able. Glad to get back. Well, good. Thank you, Michael. Spread them around. Where is the leftover dam? Well, that's on both sides. The Kaibab Plateau. That is the leftover dam. I'll show you here. Slide number 5. Let's see. Here we go. 527. There is Grand Canyon cutting across the Kaibab Plateau. The river enters the canyon right there. There's the Kaibab Plateau. That's the leftover part. It did not wash out. The canyon is the part it did wash out. Am I making that clear enough, Joseph?
Sir.
Okay. All right, other questions? I saw that Turkey recently approved all necessary permits so that all the testing can be done. Well, good. I didn't know about that. I contacted Mary Nell Wyatt's her new husband, Ron died, Mr. Lee, a couple days ago. They have no plans to go over to Turkey. I'd like to get over there and go on an expedition. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Hey, love you, sir. Have you heard or watched any of Trey Smith's videos? I have. I don't remember what it's about, though.
Trey Smith is God in a nutshell. Really made me keep smacking the TV screen behind you.
Oh, yeah?
Talks about giants, talks about evolution. Does a good job.
There's a lot of people out there working in this war. So why is this making complete sense? Why would it be lied to by our teacher? I don't think the teachers know they're lying. That's what they've been taught. Did Hitler's teachers know they were lying, or did they think, well, Hitler said it, so it's got to be true? I think it's a matter of just people pass on what they think is true. It's that way in every religion. When do you think Jesus is coming back? 2:30. I have no idea. Soon. But we're here for the whole tribulation. I used to believe in the pre-trib rapture. I wish it was true. I don't anymore. That chart behind me covers my belief. Hi from Norway. Hey, Vorden stored the Tilly dog. It's about the only Norwegian I know. Billy, you're Norwegian. You know any? We got to find you a Norwegian wife. Someone told me the Norwegian women never argue, never complain, always romantic. Must be a different country. It's not the Philippines, is it? No doubt it happened, but less than 6,000 years ago, they'd be recorded history. Well, I think if Grand Canyon formed, let's say 200 years after the flood, just to pick a number, the people got off the ark in Turkey. That is way over here. How long would it take them to migrate and populate the world? For several hundred years, maybe even 1,000 years, there was nobody over here. That's when Grand Canyon formed. So why would there be recorded history of an event that nobody saw, but the obvious results are there? You can come to a car wreck where everybody gets killed, they all die, and the police can still analyze and figure out pretty much what happened, can't they? Yeah. Hello from South Africa. Come visit us on this side. I would love to, but I just can't travel much anymore. I got so much going on here at Dinosaur Adventureland, I can't keep up. You come over here. Thoughts on the Egyptian-style artifacts in the Grand Canyon? It's been years since I read about that. I don't have it fresh in my mind, so I don't know. I know they find Egyptian hieroglyphics in places here in America, so the Egyptians might have come over to explore. Don't know. That it?
No, there's a couple, but I don't know if you want to try.
I believe we did go to space. I believe we landed on the moon. I think they walked up there. No problem. How all the star constellations and stars are in the same spot year after year? Well, that's a long, we're going to have a whole show just on that. Okay?
But if they go to the other side of the planet, they see different stars.
Yeah. Okay, call somebody on the other side of the planet. Let's put it directly opposite from Lenox, Alabama. Let's see. 30 degrees north latitude. I don't think you want to call anybody in China. We had people here last week from India. Ask them, go out at night, take a picture of their sky at a certain time. And then you go out, take a picture of the sky, and you'll see the star patterns are the same because we're on the northern hemisphere, we're seeing the same stars. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you can't see the North Star or the Big Dipper. Why is that? Because the Earth is round. Okay? Would you ever consider a position in an education minister in government? I'd hate to step down from working for the Lord for working for Uncle Sam. Mindless minions on the left lack critical thinking, so they just believe everything they're told. Does that mean they're innocent? I don't know. Well, did the courts find Hitler's guards innocent because they did what they were told? No, they were found guilty. Means they're not using the brain the good Lord gave them. Yeah, to just repeat something, like there's teachers going to teach school and say, kids, Grand Canyon formed over millions of years. Have you stopped and thought about it? No, it's just what I was taught. Okay. It's amazing how many millions of people are taught and believe and keep teaching others that the layers are different ages. I ask them all the time, guys, if that top layer is younger, where do you come from? Outer space? Is dirt being added to the planet? I don't know, meteor dust and stuff like that, but come on. Huge layers, thousands of feet? No. All those layers are, I'll tell you what, get one of the, where'd it go? Right here. Go to Walmart, get a sand art toy. When you flip it over, it will form multiple layers sideways. The layers don't form this way. In moving water sideways, like the moon would do with the tide pulling up and down, rushing in and out, it formed all the layers to the earth in 1 year. Hit the like button. Oh, their like button, okay. This idea, I'm sorry, Amber. The idea that Jesus came back in 70 AD, it's called the preterist view. It is completely bogus. Throw it away. It's not true. Has he set up his kingdom? Is everything peace on earth, goodwill to men? Go ask the folks in Nigeria right now. Where did the idea of a 10% change come from to get a copyright? I don't know. I would assume the government copyright office said, if you want to make a new song or a new book and you want to get the money for it, but you're just basically copying somebody else's work. That's the intellectual property rights. They said it must be at least 10% different. Now, maybe they've changed that. Can you Google that, one of you guys, and see?
Yeah, there's no hard and fast rule. Like, just for the Bible specifically, the rules are different. To get copyright for a new Bible, Bible version, you must create a new translation from the manuscripts. So you're literally just giving it your own interpretation.
Right.
So that's how you get to the doctrine.
So, Alan, I don't know the answer, but I'll tell you, Gil Ripplinger probably does, avpublications.com. That's their whole ministry. What do you think of Neanderthals? They were perfectly normal human, probably living to be 300 or 400 years old. If you read your Bible, it's a good idea, by the way. Before the flood, they lived to be 900 years old. Read Genesis 5. After the flood, read Genesis 11, they lived to be 400 for a couple generations. A person that lives to be really old, they end up chewing a lot of food for hundreds of years. The muscles, the masseter muscles, pull on the bone. Cheekbones get larger. Your frontalis muscle on your head pulls on the eyebrow ridge. Your eyebrow ridge grows larger. A bodybuilder will tell you, the more you build your muscles, it slowly builds the bone also. The bone responds in response to the muscle pulling on it. If you lean your head down and pull it back, the sternocleidomastoid muscles are pulling on the occipital bone, and your head will slowly get a little bit longer. When you find Neanderthals and see they've got a 13% bigger skull, brain size than we had, their skull is enlarged backwards, and their eyebrow ridge is better, it's a simple matter. They're living to be 300 or 400 years old. That's all. They're just really old people. You inspired me to preach godly science since my youth, and now we teach our future pastors creation. Creation-y? Creation? Okay. Hey, you should see my spelling. Yeah. Did I hear you say you thought the 7 years? You did hear me say that probably. I've said that. I think we probably have started the tribulation. We shall see. I don't know. Dr. Dino, there are 8 people on Noah's Ark, and now there are 8 blood types. A, B, O, and all of them have a positive and a negative. Maybe there's a connection there, Joey. I wouldn't be dogmatic about that, but it sounds good. I think Answers in Genesis, Ken Ham, or ICR did an article about the blood types coming from Noah's Ark. It's been years since I read that. Flat earthers claim the Bible verse point to flat earth. Does the Bible say it's round? Well, I don't think the Bible deals with that topic very much. There's a few little verses you can twist either which way. It says it's a circle of the earth, but I taught geometry for years. I can tell you right now, circles do not exist. As soon as you draw it on paper, the thickness of your ink just turns it into a cylinder. So in reality, circles don't exist. They do in the imagination, and they're handy to work with. I can tell you all about circles and how to figure out the volume and, pi r squared. Actually, pi are round, cornbread are square. But is that right, Joseph? Yeah, pi are round. Okay. It's a joke, Anna. Okay. Bad romance is because they do not understand the circle is only a two-dimensional object that does not exist. Right. Good. Roger. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Appreciate that, old school. I have issues with King James deciphering the Bible. He was not a good. It doesn't matter who he was. He didn't do it. He paid for it. That's it. He just paid the bill. The 57 translators, they spent 7 years. And I think, and plus God promised he would preserve his words. It doesn't matter who King James was. His name wasn't on it for years. Now we call it that. They call it the authorized version. All he did was pay for it.
Do you think King James was worse than Paul or Saul?
Saul went around killing Christians.
Yeah, do you think King James did that?
How about David? Murdered his neighbor and, had adultery with his wife, and he wrote half the book of Psalms. Should we take them out?
The Bible was written from death row.
Bible's written from death row. I like that. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Talk about heaven. I don't think the human brain can understand it. It's like, let's get a bunch of blind people together and explain colors to them. I don't think we have the capacity to understand. Eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the mind of man, heart of man, the things God hath prepared for them that love him. You can't even imagine. So I'm just ready to go. I don't want to go today unless the Lord wants me to. Okay, ma'am, what was your question about? On the front row, you had a question. The evidence of Noah and the ark, well, best evidence is the Bible says so, okay? Jesus believed in Noah and mentioned that, okay? So that would be proof that Noah existed. And then we see they actually found the ark. We have little models of it. It had these giant drogue stones hanging under it, 9,000-pound rocks. So far, they found 23 of them. We got models by our. We're building a model Noah's Ark down by the lake. It's all model nothing, 172 feet long. But we think the evidence is there. They found it. It's still there. Now, it's a wooden boat, 4,400 years old, so it's collapsed. And it's folded out to the side. They call that splay. Old ships, when they break down, they fold out to the side, and they get wider in the middle. I'm getting wider in the middle a little bit too, but that's for a different reason. We think Noah's Ark probably had moon poles, holes in the floor, with walls built up inside to let the pressure off when it goes over a wave. And we cover all that on video number 4. So yeah, I think the physical evidence is that the written evidence is there are thousands of, 470 some legends have been found where people talk about a flood. Why would they do that? Because there was a flood. So the flood legends are all over the world. Countries that have nothing to do with the Bible, they still have a flood legend where a family saved in a boat. We have the boat itself being found. Government of Turkey has put up signs that drive right up to it, called Noah on Gumshi, Noah's big boat. Okay, if you will go to WyattMuseum.com, WYATT, there's lots of stuff on that topic. Can you talk about how ancient buildings with giant stones, we don't have historical records? That's lots of them. I got a whole stack of books. I can't reach them now, but
real quick, it's just RonWyatt.com.
It's RonWyatt.com? Yeah. Well, now there's 2 of them. Well, there's 2 of them. There's Richard Reeves, 30 miles away. Okay. And so that little competition there, I think. But yeah, so there's Ron Wyatt and the Wyatt family official website. Okay. They got a museum in their basement. It's really worth seeing if you ever drive by south of Nashville, about 30 miles, Spring Hill. Okay, that's it. John Smith.
He said he emailed the question, but I answered it, but I didn't see it.
400 something, I think it's 450 about flood legends. Thank you for educating us. I've been following you for many years from Australia. Well, everybody's following me. The IRS, KGB, FBI, Gestapo. What do they want, Joseph? I'm the nicest guy I've ever met. And they still hate me.
I don't think they want to talk about the Lord.
It was about the rock formations in Maine. Send tech support. Oh.
Know anything about rock formations up in Maine?
I've been there, seen them, but I don't know anything unusual that can't be explained by the worldwide flood. If there's igneous rock, from the word ignite, has been burned, lava would be one, or different kinds of ash, tuff. There's igneous rock. Most of the world is sedimentary rock. Sediment mean it was mud. Worldwide flood probably made all of it in 1 year. Can you talk about some of those mountains that look like tree stumps? Brooke, I've seen this. People send me this all the time. Maybe all these mesas are actually giant tree stumps. I think most of the mesas that we see, like in Colorado, from Grand Lake draining, are just simply left over from the mud running off, the water running off and leaving them behind. Some are the necks of volcanoes. The volcano erupts, then later everything washes away around it, but the neck of it is this harder rock, so it stays there. Whether some of those are giant tree stumps, I doubt it, but I couldn't prove it's not. I'm willing to listen. I don't have an answer yet. I do think trees probably got that big. You're willing to write a book by chance? Well, that's a chance to write it. I've written 67 books. I know what it takes to write a book, and believe me, it's not easy. See, if you work really, really hard and study a topic for years and write a book, why on earth did God let this happen? Okay? Then you spend tens of thousands of dollars to go get it printed and published and bound. Then you have to have a bookstore to sell it in and a website to put it on, and you sell it. Then other people come along and say, wow, you got some money, I'll take some of that. Well, you write a book and sell it, and you take your own money, okay? So no, I don't know what that means, bad romance. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. Don't know what for, but okay.
Those rock formations in Maine, could that be part of the Ice Age's terminal array?
Well, We know that the ice from the Ice Age came all the way down to southern Illinois. The rock formations in Maine might be left over as the ice melts back. Sometimes, ice is melting back and a huge lake gets dammed up by ice. All of a sudden it breaks free and enormous erosion can happen rapidly. Was it an iceberg? No, it was an earthquake last night in Russia. Sent that huge tsunami all the way across the Pacific Ocean and hit Washington and Oregon and California the middle of the night last night. Sometimes the ice breaks off and makes an iceberg. When that happens, it's called calving. It makes a tsunami, a tidal wave go across. They can be huge from the ice breaking off. I taught earth science for years. I love that kind of stuff, but don't have time for it now. Sent love you so much times 1. Is that good? That's good. Thank you. How come we can figure out how they picked up the giant stones? I don't know. You figure it out. There's a lot of theories. One is the people were giants. What if everybody was 25 feet tall? I don't know.
I think Ron Wyatt did a whole demonstration on how he can do it, building certain wood frames and
that's the different types of mechanical advantage with levers and pulleys and stuff. That certainly could eventually. But the ramps to go up, I don't think that's possible. But there's lots of theories. I don't think anybody's proven how it can be done. Thank you very much, Dr. Holden. I've been watching your seminars for many years. My dream to bring my kids to Dinosaur Adventureland. Well, come on down. Samaria, that's a long ways from here. Okay. Come on over. What does the Bible say about purgatory? Absolutely nothing. There's no such place. Catholics made it up. It's a money-making racket. Grandma's probably in purgatory burning right now, and if you give us $500, she'll get out 2 years early. 2 years later, is she out yet? No, I didn't say she'd get out in 2 years. 2 years less. She's still got 44 years on her time. It's a money-making racket. That's all it is. Okay, that's it. See you tonight, 7 o'clock, and then tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Tell your atheist friends, call in. We want to strengthen their faith. We want to get them saved. And I want to answer. I think the Grand Canyon thing should answer some questions like, wow, this happened rapidly, not slowly. And that's the biggest one on the surface that we know of. Some underwater that are bigger than that. Okay, thank you so much.